Hello, boys and girls from Tarot Land. Us tarot readers can work up a real thirst. That's why I'm drinking Wendy's coffee. Hot. Okay, get serious now. I want to talk about the Gypsy Spread. You would hear that name in a lot of different sources. And it's just a catchy name. Everybody like the Gypsy Spread. Everybody's going to like it. This is the one I learned. I think the book was called Forbidden Images. The small paperback, probably 200 pages. I don't know when it was out, probably 80s, 90s. I can't have it. I don't see it here. But there's a lot of different gypsy spirits. And this one here I like this one because it's really versatile. You can change it easily. So I think that has an advantage to it. One thing I'd like to say, if you're just starting out with the tarot, before I go into that's what you're gonna learn today, the Gypsy Spread, the 21 card Gypsy Spread, the way I do it, and you might like it. But one thing I'd like to say right off the bat, if you're starting out, if you want to read pro, I would say it's important to have a question. A lot of people say, well, I'd rather read cold. I've been reading professionally since 93. This is 23, so it's 30 years now. And I always have a question. I know pro readers who insist on it, and they do just fine. I can't think of, on one hand, how many times it's been an issue to anybody. So I ask them, what's on your mind? Relationship, career, goals for 2023, things like this. And they'll tell you something. And that's I'm not really interested in telling people what they already know. I'm interested in telling people what they don't know. So tell me what you know, and we'll see what we can do about it. It works out real good. So you might want to think about that too. Anyway, the Gypsy Spread, what I like about it, I'm going to bring it up here in a minute, is it's very versatile. You could change it if you want to, easily. So here I got the Gypsy Spread up. 21 card Gypsy Spread. Like I said, you'll see a lot of different versions of this, something called the Gypsy Spread. This is what we have here. And so you have seven positions, 7 topics pertaining to your question. The client, the environment, possibilities, advantages you have, weaknesses you have, opportunities to come, and the goal of you're trying to accomplish. What's nice about this is you have 3 cards per position. So each one of these categories is a 3-card spread. And I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. And you could run those 3 cards any way that looks good for you. So in other words, whatever makes sense, whatever I have them laid out 1, 2, 3, 3 on the bottom, but you can lay them out however you want to, and you could read them any way you want to. So it's not really anything that has to be, it's not like you're following an exact procedure in some way here. Each one's a 3-card spread. Whatever makes sense to you, that's how you read them. And it works out nice. Now, what's nice about the 3-card is you can change this if you want. It's very easy to change these topics. So if you didn't think that, let's say you had, here I just changed I took out possibilities. It was client, environment, possibilities, advantages, weaknesses, opportunity, and goal. Seeing we already have opportunity here, possibilities really wasn't that important. So I made this a 6-topic spread. So now you have 6 positions, each one with 3 cards in it. It's easy to just to take one out, or you could add one, and it works out real nice. It's a very versatile spread. I go over this spread in Essential Tarot Unlocking the Mystery with a sample reading as well in this. I use the Rider-Waite deck for the other sample readings I do in here. I have a number of different spreads in here that I've done. I explain and with sample readings. But the 3-card spread, I went with the one JJ Swiss, but it worked out real nice. But anyway, so there's a lot of detail about it in here. But you could also do something like this. Let's say you don't want to go with 3 cards. You could just put 1 card in there. Same 6 categories, 1 card. So you could change this. It's a very flexible type of spread, and it's easy to change without getting confused in some way. You could also just change the categories. If anybody knows my work, you know that the 4 categories that I think are really important, no matter what question you're looking into, are what are you looking into? Why do you want it? How are we going to get it? And when do we act? When do we act, meaning by what has to be in place before you move forward on this for your best advantage to succeed. So you could just go with 4 categories here. You don't have to have 6. You don't have to have 7. You could just go with and change the topic headings to what, why, how, and when, or anything else that you think is important. And you could do that, and it works out fine. Or you could even just go with something like this: what, why, how, and when. 1 card each. Now you got a 4-card spread, 4 positions. You don't have to call it the Gypsy Spread. The name is just a name. It's the application, the procedure, how it's done. They just call it the Gypsy Spread. It's 21-card Gypsy Spread with 3 cards, 7 positions, and it's fine. But but it's so easy to change around, and that's what I like about it. Any way you like it to go, it works. Once you understand what a card spread is doing, and I go into that in my work, it's your question broken down into sections. In order to analyze any question, you have to fragment the question. And that's what those positions are. They're supposed to be things that would be directly concerning about your issue, things that would be important to look into and useful to look into. But once you know that, what the card spread is doing, that makes it a lot easier to break it down too and alter it in some way that works better for you. Once you know what you're doing with a card spread, it makes it easier to adjust it. And one thing I could tell you for sure is that when you start reading, you take a spread you like, and you work with it for a while. And then after a while, you're going to want to change it. Something here. This position here, I want to change to something else. I could tell as I'm doing my readings, it would be easier for me if I change this to this or that, because I've thrown cards over it. I thought, well, if it was a different topic in that position, this card will really fit. And you just find yourself looking and say, I want to change that position. And you can do that. And you probably will. Everybody I know taking a spread that they liked, they work with it for a while, and then they end up fine-tuning it. They change it to what they like. So almost everybody I know doesn't go by what they read in a book. They work it, they like it, but they alter it. You might do a couple spreads and you say, well, I want to try this one. I don't like it. I want to try this one. I don't like it. I like this one here. And that's what I'm going to go with. But now that I'm going with it, I want to change this position over here. I want to change this position over here to something else that you think would be more special for the reading. Go ahead and do it. Try it. If that doesn't work out, try something else. Try a different meaning for that position. And you'll find you form your spread, you'll shape it for you in a way that works best for you. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You're out to give a good reading, and the best way to do that is to do it by something that you see clearly. The main goal for the reading is to give people ideas that they didn't see before. And the reason that they're there to see you is because they're out of ideas. And if one of those ideas work that you gave them, then you've done a good job. So this is a good spread. The Gypsy spread, you want to go with the 7 full positions, 3 cards in each one, it's fine. Or if you wanted to change it to 1 card for a position, or take away some of the positions, or add or change the titles to those positions, it's very easy to do with this spread. And I guess it wouldn't be called the Gypsy spread anymore, but it started out that way. And so you can still call it the Gypsy spread. Why not? Nobody's going to know. It's a nice spread, works very well. I can't, to be honest with you, I've always liked it, but I've always liked the Celtic Cross better. For me, they're both good spreads, but for me, the Celtic Cross was the one that I think stuck home with me. But this would be easier to change if I wanted to alter it in some way than my cross. My cross interweaves with the other positions too much, where this doesn't do that. I mean, you could blend them together to work with each other, sure, but seeing they're just left to right, it's real easy to adjust. And it's a quick, easy spread. It's accurate, just as accurate as any other spread. And you do well with it if you want to try it. So the 21 card Gypsy spread. I want to put that back on the screen here. So the 21 card Gypsy spread, it's more cards than a Celtic Cross. Celtic Cross is 10 card spread. And that's another thing. You could say the same thing. The Celtic Cross, some people call it the Celtic Cross. Some people call it a 10 card spread. So their name isn't really that important. But this I learned as the 21 card Gypsy spread. It's a good spread, and it's very flexible. And it's very clear. Once you know those positions by heart, you know what you're looking into right off the bat. And you could do it a bunch of different ways. You could put 1 card in each category and read them, then throw another card in each category and read those. Then you could throw a 3rd card in each category and read those. And then you could read them all blended together in each category. The 3 cards in first category, 3 cards in the second category. So you could do a lot of work with that. And it works out very nice. And seeing you have 3 cards for each position, it's easy to take one of the cards from the first position and blend it into one of the other positions, one of the 3 cards there, to start telling a story. So it's a good spread. It'll work well for you. And I think people like the category because it's just Gypsy spread. And people like that name when you're a card reader. Next Zoom meeting is November 14th, 12 o'clock Chicago time. There'll be a link down below to tarotmaps.com. Go to Tarot Gatherings in the menu, and click on that page. You go right into the meeting. And come on by, say hello. All are welcome. And that's that. Keep throwing cards. We'll talk soon. Oh, I want to mention one other thing. Last Zoom meeting I did, I was wearing the same shirt and the same sport jacket. That was about 3 days ago. So yeah, I do change my clothes, but I decided this is going to be my YouTube clothes for a while. So I wear this when I'm going to do my YouTubes. I'll be wearing this for the next couple of weeks or whatever. We'll see how that works. Keep throwing cards. We'll talk soon. Bye.